Flosstube! Welcome to my channel. I'm Jessie, and this is Magical Anime Stitcher. Um, Welcome. This is my first official video, I guess. Well, I guess my second official video has the Magical Anime Stitcher. So welcome for those of you who are new, who have never visited me before. Welcome in. Happy to get to know you today. And for those of you who are returning, thanks so much for spending time with me. As always, I really do appreciate it. I know that there's so many Flosstube videos out there that many people are creating, and they're wonderful, and I really appreciate everyone who takes their time to spend a little bit of time with me. So today I am filming this on Thursday, January 2nd. So you can see I still have my Christmas tree up, and my Advent boxes my items still need to get put away. So please forgive the mess for today, but it is one of the goals as we enter the new year. But today is a Flosstube extra of my 2025 WIP parade, what I've carried into the year. And all the notes about the projects are going to be below. If I don't remember the name of the fabric or things like that right now, because I don't have any notes. I'm winging it off the noggin. All of that's going to be below or side, wherever it is that you watch in the show notes, so that way you can get all of that information if you need it. So let's get started. I have my tea ready, my procrastinate mug, and I'm ready to go. I am carrying over into 2025 23 WIPs. So I'm showing you everything I have that is what I currently consider a WIP. Now we will see if at the end of this parade, if it will still remain 25, because I am going to be making some decisions about some of these projects that I already know what I plan on doing, which may or may not make an ongoing WIP. So let's see what happens. The order is my oldest to newest WIP. So that is the order that they're going in. And so that way we can see that. So my oldest WIP, first up, is Cinderella Wishes Upon a Dream. This is by MCG Textiles. The artwork is by Thomas Kinkaide. This is an out-of-print pattern. It was a kit that I had actually purchased at Disneyland. And so this is where it is. And everything is kit provided. Kit provided floss and fabric. And this is 2/1 on 18 count Aida. And so here it is right now. So as you can see, I have this section that needs to be completed, and this is always an ongoing goal. I am always trying to finish this every year, and so here it is. I have good faith. I have faith in this year it will get done, and not in January, because I have it's a very busy work month for me, so not in January, but this is the plan to get this done. If nothing else, come May, I typically do a monogamous May, and I typically focus on Cinderella in that month. And so hopefully by then it will be done. But this is my oldest WIP. I've been working on this probably for over 10 years at this point in time, because I was working on it with my husband. We've been together for 10 years. So, but you know what? It's my project. And when I want to get it done is when I want to get it done. Oh, so sorry. My eye just started itching for some reason. Oh. All right. Next up, so my oldest WIPs are 2 BAPs, right? So next up is Tilton Crafts Sailor Moon Squad, artwork by Daniel Kordek. And this is, again, my second oldest WIP. I've been working on this for a while. And here it is where I am. So this is... I'm almost complete with Sailor Venus. Let me get a little bit closer here. And just gotta really just do her bow really at the bottom of that. So I am doing this 1/1 full cross on 25 count even weave. And my goal for this year is to finish Sailor Venus, which was my goal for last year, but I didn't work on it at all. And then to start working on the next Sailor Scout, which I anticipate that I am going to move to the left. So I'm going to work on Sailor Jupiter. So that is going to be the goal for the year, is to finish this. I'm going to pause for a minute and readjust because I'm having a hard time seeing myself. So hold on, pause. Okay, I've adjusted my computer is now over on the side. So hopefully you'll be able to see the screen a little bit better, and being able to show you the project. So apologies for that. Although no time passed for you. All right. So next up is I Search for an Ancestor. This is by the Laurel Witch. I've been working on this for a while. I love this piece, and I'm really kind of disappointed myself because I'm not further along as I hoped to be. But here it is, and it says, I search for an ancestor who would have been considered a suffragette, harlot, witches, oh, I can't read that. Mystic in Queen. And so I love it. I love it a lot. All right. So, and here it is currently. I did put quite a bit of stitches on this in 2024, but obviously not enough to finish. I have done a color conversion of the face to look a little more like me in terms of coloring in the hair as well. And I'm doing this 2/2 with all of the called for DMC, except for that color conversion on 32 count Lugana. And this is Haunted by Seraphim hand-dyed fabrics. My goal for this is just to continue working on it. It'd be nice if I had to finish, but not necessarily the intention for this year. Oh, excuse me. All right, next up is Mirabilia. This is Lady Justice by Nora Corbett from Mirabilia. So this is one of my first ones, which is a questionable what's happening with this going forward. So just to show you where I am right now. So this is where I am. So I've just kind of done the back part of her scarf here. But this is on 32 count Lugana, Cote Doves, just so that you know what it is. I am seriously considering a restart for Lady Justice. Now, whether or not it happens this year, but probably will because I'm thinking about it right now for a couple of reasons. One, I've been told that the beading lays a little bit better when you stitch on 28 count as opposed to 32 count. Now, I don't know. I don't do tons of beading. And so, which I think that makes sense. You know, it is the called for fabric size. Although, I don't know. It says well, that's a lie. Okay, so the model is stitch on 32 count graceful gray. Okay, so maybe the beads will be fine. I don't know. Well, maybe real-time decision making with Jessie. So maybe not. If the beads are going to lay okay, if the called for is 32 count, then it should be okay, right? I think so. I think it'll be fine. So, but anyways, thoughts. So pull number one. The reason why I was thinking about restarting was because I thought the beads would lay a little bit better. But also I was at Garon Stitchery and I saw that they had stitched Lady Justice on, I believe it was the Constitution, maybe the Declaration of Independence, and I just thought that was really very nice. Now, I am not what you would call overly patriotic. So it's not a part of my designs or anything like that, but I am a member of the Daughters of the American Revolution. I am an 11th generation American, a 7th generation Texan. Like, I take a lot of, first, you take your history as you take your history. But it's, and so there was a part of me that just liked connecting to that because of my association with the DAR and everything about possibly doing this on that. But the reason why I stitch on Lady Justice is because I'm a lawyer and I'm a legal aid lawyer. And so for me, I really wanted to have a justice component. I'm going to think about this. What do y'all think? Since 32 count is the called for, I'm going to probably keep it on 32 count. But should I restart this on either the Constitution or the Declaration of Independence? I think it would be the Constitution because that makes sense for Lady Justice. But anyways, something to consider. But that's where I am right now. I am hoping to do a color conversion for skin and hair. All right, next up is Baba Yaga by Autumn Lane Stitchery. So this is where it is. This is it. And this is currently where I am. So this is, I'm stitching this 2/2 with all of the called for DMC, as well as the fabric, which is Catacombs by BeStitchMe. This is 32 count linen. And my goal is to finish this. I love this piece. I really would like to get this done and get it on my wall in general. So yeah, so this is where I am. I'm looking forward to it. Continuing on that. All right. Next up is Here Be Dragons by Modern Folk Embroidery. I love this so much, and it's so disappointing to me that I have not actually gotten further on it. Unfortunately, I don't remember all of the details of the floss name in the fabric, so you'll have to check out the show notes on this one. But this is where I am currently on it. It is a floss by Roxy Floss Co. It's a 32 count even weave Lugana. And I'm doing 2/2. But here it is. This is one of those, be nice if I get some real progress on, but it's just working on it when I work on it and feel like it. But no real strong plans in terms of finishing this in this year. All right. Next up is Greenhouse of Oddities. This is by Lola Cross Stitch. This was a sal from a previous year. Obviously, I'm behind and not stay caught up on on the sal. And that's okay. It's okay, right? Our stitching is our stitching. And so here I am. Once again, I don't remember the name of the fabric. I think is Aloe on the other side. I'm pretty sure by Yummy Fiberlicious. But not 100% sure. Again, just check out the show notes. But this is where I am. They're at 2/2 with called for DMC, and this is 32 count Lugana. And I made the conversion instead to do, I made a choice to, not conversion, I chose to stitch Washington Carver there. All right. No real plans for that one either. Just work on it when I work on it. It'd be nice to have it finished because I have all of the other Lola Crows, the library, and some other things that I would really like to get down on that. But, and I'm not going to probably work on those until I finish Greenhouse. But otherwise, it's just when I feel like working on it. Next up is Greenwashing from Sprout and Lupine. And this was part of the Stitchers Collective's Earth Day bundle from 2023. I just think this is just so beautiful. All of those greens, and I just think it's really very lovely. I've been working on it for a while though, and here it is. This is, I'm doing everything 2/2 with the called for DMC, and this is 32 count Lugana Willow by Color and Cotton. So there it is. Very similarly, I'm just going to work on it when I feel like it. Not really in a hurry to get it done, but hopefully sometime in the future. So that's where we are on that one. Okay. Next up is Tonight We Ride by Autumn Lane Stitchery. This was part of a box, I believe. And I you're going to see this amazing start that I had on it, which is not a lot. So this is where I am. And I'm going to be doing this 2/2 with the called for DMC on 32 count linen. And this is Pumpkin Patch by BeStitchMe. Look at that fabric though. Isn't that gorgeous? Isn't that a gorgeous fabric? But yeah, not very far. Again, very similarly. I'm just going to work on it when I work on it, when I feel like it. Chances are if I'm feeling a little bit spooky stitching, I'm more likely to pick up either Greenhouse or Baba Yaga. But it's, but we'll see from there. All right, next up is Dr. Georgina Wyndham. This is by Forbidden Fiber Co. She is part of the steampunk sheep line that Forbidden Fiber Co. did, I guess throughout the year last year or the year before. I have all of them. I've only done one. I went a little bit out of order because I was getting allergy shots, and I thought it'd be kind of fun to stitch on the doctor while I was in my waiting room, waiting to see if I had a reaction. But here we are on Dr. Georgina Wyndham, but she is generally my travel piece, so I kind of work on her when I travel. But that being said, though, we are getting pretty close to a finish here, so I'm going to have finish fever pretty soon, and my goal is to get her done probably in January, honestly, because I will be doing some traveling, and since this is a travel piece, that is the intention. Oh, this is Everything is Forbidden Fiber Co. 2/2 with the call for Forbidden Fiber Co. floss on 32 count linen, and this is Love Potion. Alright. Next up is Death Before Decaf by the Witchy Stitcher. I'm actually stitching this up for my husband. It was going to be part of his office decor when he was going to work, but they no longer have permanent office spots. They kind of went to hot desk, and so it kind of went on the back burner a little bit. But now it looks like they're going to have a permanent spot again when they move offices. Their offices are moving, and they'll have a permanent spot there. So it's back on the front burner a little bit, but not too quick. And so here it is. I am doing this 2/1 on 16 count Aida. This is Eek by Picture This Plus. Oh, it's 14 count. Sorry, it is 14 count. So there it is. This will probably get it's probably medium burner at this point. Probably get more on the front burner once he actually has a move-in date for his office, and then he has something he can put on his desk as part of the decorations. All right, next up is Anna Green Gables. This is a stitching book club piece hosted by Sapphire Blue Mountain Crafts, Handcrafts, I think, is that right? Sapphire Mountain Handcrafts. There's no blue in that. But this is where he is. Anna Green Gables is one of my favorite books of all time, one of my favorite literary characters. So was very happy to work on that. But this is where it is. And I am doing this 2/2 with the called for DMC on 36 count linen. This is Chime by Picture This Plus. A little late, a little slow working on it. Obviously the sal's done and I'm behind, but I'm going to work on this when I work on this. Not any particular hurry on this one, but just going to go ahead and just keep working on that. All right, here's one that definitely is no longer going to be on my WIP list, but for those of you who have followed me, you're going to be aware that it is, which is Got the Morbs by Modern Folk Embroidery. And this is where it is currently. What's happening with this? This is going to be UFO'd. It's going to be a restart. I'm not happy with the floss color. I don't think it's looking the way I wanted it to look in terms of what I would like. And when I go to pick it up, this makes me unhappy. And because it's making me unhappy, it's just time to acknowledge that. I want to stitch the project. I think it's very cute. I want to do it. Cute. I don't know what else is about me. But I love it. I think this is a fantastic project. I want to stitch it, but every time I pick it up, I don't feel like it. So I'm going to just go ahead and do a restart and pick a new floss color and just go ahead and do that. So when I will do that, I do not know. There's a part of me that wants to get through Here Be Dragons before I start another Modern Folk Embroidery, but we'll see. We'll see how I feel about that. Okay. All right. Next up is another one that is on my maybe not WIP, which is All Hallows Eve. And this is by Hello by Liz Matthews. I love this pattern. I love it a lot. But again, very similarly, I don't think I'm loving the fabric choice that I have made. So this is where it currently is. This is Forbidden Fiber Co. Floss. This is 2/2 over a Yummy Fiberlicious. I believe it's called Poison Apple, but I'm not 100% sure. Again, very similarly, when I go and look at it, I pick it up, I'm just really unhappy with the choice of the fabric that I made. I love the fabric. Fabric is gorgeous. I just don't think it's the right choice for the color wave for the colors of the pattern itself. And so chances are I'm going to go ahead and do a restart on this one as well. And again, no hurry on that one. I will probably restart it at some point in time this year, but it just kind of depends on my whimsy. So that's 2. We are now down 2. So 23 down to 21, possibly 20, depending on what y'all think I should do about Lady Justice. Next up is Black Cat Hollow by Barbara Ann Designs. So I am currently working on part 2, but right there in the corner is the full 3 parts all together. I don't remember any of this other than I know that the fabric is by Fox and Rabbit and it's silks. But this was a conversion done for me. I did the Surprise Me box in when I went to StitchCon in 2023, and this was the Surprise Me box that I got. And so all the notes will be below on it. It was Susan who did the conversion, but there it is. Super cute. I love Barbara Ann. She's one of my favorites. And I'll continue to work on this when I continue to work on it, type of thing. All right, next up is Halloweenies. This is by Plum Street Sampler. I have the entire weenie line by Plum Street Sampler. I had Dachshunds. I currently have one Dachshund mix, and so I just really love all of them, and I just plan on stitching all of them. I will always have Dachshunds, and so I started out with Halloweenie, and this is where I am. Doing this 2/2 with all of the called for floss, and it's all fancy floss, Gentle Arts, Classic Color Works, and this is 32 count Lugana Fog by Pictured This Plus. Again, one of those, I'll pick it up when I pick it up, but not really any particular urgency in stitching it. Next up is New Year's Sampler. This is by Alfor's Embroidery. Just as a reminder, on my position on this, the war for against Ukraine is still occurring. Sanctions still exist against Russia. While I have nothing against Alfor's Embroidery in general, it is my general opinion that you don't cross the sanction lines, because that is in protest of the war. And so I had purchased this prior to the war. So I just wanted to go ahead and let you know that. And this is where I am currently on it. I am doing this 2/2 with the called for Alfor's Embroidery floss, their hand-dyed floss, on 32 count Lugana Spiced Honey by Color and Cotton. This one I probably won't work on for most of the year, but my intention, if I feel the same, come November, December, is that I'll probably work on this as my focus piece for the holidays in 2025. Next up, I don't have a final picture for, but I am working on the Stitch for Pride 2024 by These 20 Stitches, and I'm behind. I am current through September, right? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, through September, but I'm behind on October, November, December. I actually intend on counting this as separate finishes going forward, but for Stitch for Pride, I have it as one project, and so, but here is all of the 9 that I've done so far. I'm considering this a WIP because of October through December that I still need to do. I'm doing this 2/2 with my conversions of various floss on 32 count linen determination by Mislaid Pages by Jessie. And but yeah, so I'm going to be finishing these individually, so I consider them individual finishes, but when I started it, I treated it as one big WIP. So for right now, consider it a WIP. It is a focus piece. It's not necessarily going to be done in January, but the hope is to be done by March, say. So this is one of the pieces that I am focusing on. Right. Then I have this design, which I do not speak German, but my understanding is that the translation is it's Meet the Forest Animals, or the woodland animals. And so I just think this is such a beautiful winter piece. And this probably, depending on how I feel, because I have some other focuses I want to work on, might end up being my focus in February for winter stitching. But I just love it. I love the animals and the sweaters and everything. It's just so cute. And this is by UB Designs. And I did not get very far on this one either. That is all I've done, just that little part. So I'm going to be doing this 2/2 with the called for DMC, and this is Frozen by Forbidden Fiber Co. here. It's a little blendy, but I think that once all the stitching is completed around it, it won't be too obvious. My phone's ringing if you're hearing that. There we go. Okay, next up is a tie dragon. This is actually a piece of artwork from Canva that I have charted. I was born in the year of the dragon, and so this is in commemoration of the year of the dragon that was primarily in 2024. It will be, the Lunar New Year is going to be on January 29th this year of 2025. My birthday is on January 30th. And so it's very interesting because I was born in the year of the dragon. And so that every 12 years, your birthday would typically be in your year. But I will not be. I will be turning 48 in the year of the snake. And so I don't know what that means about my astrology. Anyways, there he goes. But here is where it is currently. Again, this is not going to be a super focus. I just like the idea of getting it done just to see about my own design skills, I guess, and making that I do a good job like converting a piece of art to a project. And so, but this is 2/2 with my own DMC, my own called for DMC on 32 count Lugana by Yummy Fiberlicious. I think this is from Sea to Shiny Sheets or something like that, but I forgot the name. So take a look at this in the show note. But I know it's Yummy Fiberlicious fibers. All right, just a handful more. Next up is the Ever After Sal by Forbidden Fiber Co. This is also going to be a focus piece of mine to get done in early January, February. So this is where that is. And here we are. I am so close to being done. I am on that last part down there. So it's just a matter of just sitting down and working on it. In fact, I'll probably work on it today. And so, but this is where we are. Everything is Forbidden Fiber Co. 2/2 with the call for floss on 32 count linen, and this is called Ever After. Isn't that gorgeous? I just love it so much. It's one of my favorite movies. Cinderella's are one of my favorite fairy tales, and so I'm looking forward to getting that done. Just two more. Next up is A Stitcher's Quaker by Luminous Fiber Arts. This was part of a virtual retreat that I did, and so looking forward to continuing to work on this one. Again, not in any kind of hurry. I worked on it during the retreat. And so this is where we are. And this is 2/2 with the called for floss, which is by Classic Colorworks. I don't remember what it's called. Let's see. Is it on the pattern? Did she actually say what it is on the pattern? I can't open it. Oh, Ribbon Red. It's an unknown fabric though. The kit did not label the fabric, so I'm not sure if it's the called for fabric. The called for fabric is Cappuccino by Fibers on a Whim, but I'm not sure if that's what this is. But anyways, it's unknown beige fabric. Again, one of those. I'll work on it when I work on it, not in any kind of particular hurry. All right. Last but not least, I am in Houston, Texas, and my husband is a fan of the Texans. And a football fan, and we are season ticket holders. And so I am working on a Texans logo. This is my game piece currently. We are only working on this when we go to the games, and I stitch on it when we are there during halftime if it's appropriate, and then sometimes there's some downtime in between plays and stuff, and I'll stitch on it then. But this is where I am on it right now. I intend to stitch this more than once this year. I'm doing everything excuse me, in the kit right now, and stitching it has called for. Apologies for that. But I'm stitching it as called for because I plan on converting the stars, and so I don't like it, but I think I need to stitch it as called for to see how I can make it adapt it to make it look a little bit better. But that's okay. I only take it to the games. It's not like it's a big hurry to get this done, but that's it. That's where we are. And this is kit provided DMC 2/1 on 18 count Aida. And that is it. That is my WIP parade for January 2025. So let's see. So 23, we have 2 that are going to be restarts. Got the Morbs and the Pumpkins by Liz Matthews. So we're going to do restarts on those. So those are going to go away. That takes me down to 21. Tell me your opinions on Lady Justice. Do you think that warrants a restart? Honestly, thinking out loud with you today, I'm kind of inclined to not. I think I'm inclined to continue on. I do love the fabric for Cote Doves. And I think that the beading is, as long as it's it sounds like since it's called for and it'll lay well, then I think it's going to work fine. And so that's going to be the plan kind of going forward. And so we'll see. And, you know, I think that's it. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. And I hope that you join me along in the year as we do my progress throughout the year. I did talk a little bit about my plans in my last Flosstube, but just as kind of a general summary of that. I stitch what I want when I want, but my goal is to do is to get some finishes done. There's some various hashtags out there for like various styles on doing a whip down or getting it out of the project bag onto the walls. You know, I don't know if I'm going to be joining any of those in particular, but the intention is to get my whips down to what I consider to be a more manageable number for me personally, which is between 12 to 15 whips. And so the hope is that to kind of focus on things and until we get to that number. All right. So with that, wherever you are, if you're interested in joining, please like and subscribe. Otherwise, I hope wherever you are having a stitchy good time, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye. Jessie back here in the post-editing thing. I realized I forgot to tell you my joke, and I think this is an appropriate joke for the WIP parade. What kind of needlework is angry? Cross stitch, of course. Bye.